Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Had a great sleep right by my great little ocean spot. And now I'm all packed up and I'm about 20 to 30 minutes from the ferry. So I'm gonna go get myself checked in, pass through customs, and then I'll tell you where I'm going. All right, let's hit the road. That was probably one of the quieter nights that I've had in a campground. One of the cheapest too, for 20 bucks. Nothing left behind. And it even had a hot shower last night. Yep.
Boarding starts at 8:30.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm all set up with my tickets and getting ready to board the ferry to France. That's right. I have an hour and a half ride from the southeast section of Newfoundland. There's a small island called Saint Pierre and Miquelon, and it's part of France. So you need your passport. The electrical plugs are European. They've had this territory since the 1800s, and it's actually France. Bike is squared away. Supposed to be good weather, maybe rain tomorrow. So unfortunately, this is just a one-day wonder trip. Their ferry schedule is all over the map. There was a ferry at 9 this morning and comes back at 12 tomorrow. Otherwise, I was having to wait an extra day, and then I would be there for 2 days. So the next ferry was the day after. That one left at 5. Then I would have one full day, and then the next ferry left at 9 in the morning the next day. So let's go experience France in Canada. There's been a long history of smuggling from this territory. Even Al Capone used to smuggle the booze in. Being so close to Canada, it made it super easy. Like that. I'm in France. First stop is to find a cafe. They close at noon and it's 11. They're going for their 2-hour siesta. Even in France, the signs say stop. But not in Quebec. They have to say arrête. I got here a little too late. The cafes and bakeries are all closed. I went to 2, but they weren't even there anymore. And then the one I went to was cleaned out. They were closing in a few minutes and they basically had nothing left, but I did manage to get a croissant and find a place to get some kind of a cappuccino. Not as good as I expected. Here is my €134 room. Hey! My view of the stairs. Just a few kilometers out of town is the highest peak on Saint Pierre. I'm gonna see if I can tackle this enormous challenge. It's uncanny how hiking in France is so similar to hiking in Canada. I believe because the continents all used to be connected, that's why the geology and flora and fauna of France is so similar to that of Canada. It's a truly astounding thing the way the world developed. The trail is dropping down to a lake before it loops around. We'll head back up there and I will have achieved great success. So weird how you can just smell the difference from Europe. The air just has that European smell to it. Enjoy this lake view. I'm now at the turnoff for the peak. Typically there's a base camp here and they do a 2-day climb so they can acclimatize here. The locals said I was crazy to attempt it in one day, but you know me and what locals say. So after an hour in, I'm doing okay even at this altitude. let's hope for the best at the top. I didn't bring my inReach, so if I do go into oxygen deprivation, I'll have no way of contacting the outside world, and they may find my body up there in next year's expeditions. Here's the proof. So windy. Of course, this is also where the last crazy hiker who attempted this peak in the months of August and September, when these gale force winds make it almost impossible to scale. Plus, combined with the altitude, I've got to be, I don't know, 300-400 meters up. Oh, there it is on the backside. Wasn't even paying attention. 207 meters. Woo! No wonder they camp at 100 meters typically in a 2-day climb. It's tough to breathe for sure, but I'm not going to hang out here for very long. I think once I get down about 100 meters, my lungs will fill fully and I'll be okay. I'm going to end up like this guy, I think Jean-Guy, Mary Jose, something is her name. Let's make our way down. I don't know too many people as nuts as me. You can believe it, I don't know if you can see the trail. It's over there. I didn't follow it up. I just scaled these rocks and I'm gonna scale them down. I know, so unusual for me. I've come across a wild animal. We're kind of at a standoff. Not quite sure if I can proceed. He chickened off and ran away. I just can't help my daredevil ways. I'm such a risk taker. Not for the faint of heart. Hard to believe moments ago I was just there. Now I've made it back to the trail. I'll connect up at the junction. Trail loops around and takes me back to the far side of town. By then, the stores and everything should be open. Okay, I'm on a quest. I did a little shopping in the grocery store. They don't have any bread. There's a bakery about a kilometer walk around this bay. And the jackass said I was a jackass. So my quest may be moot. Finally, after an eon's walk, I found a place that was open and secured a baguette, a baby baguette. They're open tomorrow, so it's gonna be the only thing open in the morning when I leave. So I will frequent this establishment and get the freshest of breads. Cheese, meat, and a baguette. Perfectly European. There's my hotel across this little bay. That's a 1 kilometer walk all the way around. I struggled and wandered all over town trying to find something to get for dinner. A few restaurants were all booked up. I wandered a kilometer to a pizza place. They were like, it's going to be a 2-hour wait. There was like 40 orders in front of me. I wandered back and there was one restaurant and I managed to get in. Had some French onion soup and some fish. It was decent, but otherwise my choices were just a burger place. St. Pierre and Miquelon is not as fancy as I expected. Hopefully tomorrow morning when I hit the bakery, I get a true French experience. And then it's off to the ferry. That's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. Good morning. I've walked across the bay, not taken the horse, as you might have suspected. And now I'm going to the only place that's open in town, the Boulangerie, which is on a Sunday. Unheard of to be open in France. I'm gonna grab myself some breakfast stuff and maybe some lunch stuff as well, and then I'll wander back and start packing up and get ready for the ferry back to Canada. 8 o'clock in the morning here and it's packed. Everybody knows it's the only place in town to get the fresh goods on a Sunday. I got a baguette, a raspberry tart, a macaron, and a croissant, because how could you not? We'll see if it's better than the croissant I had yesterday. There's a place by my house that still is the #1 croissant that I've had anywhere. And I still couldn't get a cappuccino at that place. There is a hotel here. I'm gonna pop in on the odd chance that they might be able to provide me with the coffee fix that I need. Definitely not the kind of cappuccino I'm used to. Croissant still not as good as Elmo's croissant by my house. But it's a pretty good view. So my whirlwind tour of France, 24 hours. Not quite as I expected. Struggled to find a decent dinner. Of course, being a Sunday for the one day, not the best because with everything closed, it doesn't make the experience the same. I would say as a novelty to come check it out if you're in the hood. But overall, not quite like France, but coming to town does have a European feel. Back to the hotel, pack up, and then hit the ferry. pulling into the dock back in Canada. Thanks. And just like that, through customs, back in Canada, go get the bike, get suited up, and then it's about a 300-kilometer drive to where I gotta take the ferry tomorrow. Ferry's tomorrow night at 5, and it's midday now. So I'll tootle my way over there, and then I've got a long overnight 16-hour ferry without a cabin. Okay, all packed up. Back on the road. It's gonna take a long way around. This is a big loop. Stop and check my front tire. I feel weird. I'm all panicky now. Like I said, I have PTSD. No, they're good. All right, gonna tootle around the big loop. Okay, just picked up some food supplies, a few snacks, a salad, so I've got meat. A little bit of bread left from France. Just over 200k to where the ferry is tomorrow, so I got lots of time. It's 3 o'clock. If I remember correctly, this next stretch here is fairly boring. It's so picturesque. The rolling hills and lakes and ponds all combined. A lot of this ride is like a painting. Alright, I've made it to my camp spot for the night. I'm all set up for the possible probable rain. I'm in a place called Fitzgerald's Pond Park. Nobody at the office, no idea. The website barely had any information. Some people were saying terrible service, generators going all night. I can hear a generator over there. I have earplugs, I'm sure I'll be fine. I'll just wait for Ranger Fitzgerald to come on by, and if he doesn't, then I guess I've stealth camped in his semi-shady campground. Anyways, tomorrow I've got a long day waiting for the ferry, and then a long night on the ferry, so I'm gonna grab some grub, and then I'm gonna crash. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.